Hi, I'm Paul Resnick. I'm a co-founder of FinaMetrica. I started work in the financial services industry in 1970. Over the years, I established 11 businesses in the manufacturing, service, education and distribution supply chain. What I've learned over the years is that compliance is generally driven from two sources. The minimum set by regulation, including professional association standards in the courts, and a higher level of self-regulation set by the best practitioners in each advisory community. Traditionally, regulation can be seen as a response to a particular market failure, a mis-selling scandal, for instance, or an event, the 2008 market crash. It's rarely developed through a broad-based community consultation. Development is often dominated by vested interests, and the outcomes often tend to be static. Self-regulation, on the other hand, is usually driven by advisors who say, I want to do the very best I can for my clients. I want to stand out from the crowd. And good advisors around the world share their experiences and knowledge with each other. For market-leading advisors, best practice is a constantly changing aspirational goal to put their clients' interests ahead of both their own and product suppliers. Since 2008, regulators around the world have sought methods to return trust to both the market and those who operate in the market. In our case, the emphasis is on advisors. At the forefront has been the UK's Financial Services Authority, more recently the Financial Conduct Authority. On investment suitability and risk profiling, UK regulation has followed the standards set by small firm independent UK advisors. In the broader context, the UK has been driven by European regulation, specifically MiFID. There's no effective consensus though. Each European country interprets the regulation in response to its own economy, infrastructure and vested interests. The UK has influence on several parts of the old colonial world: Singapore, Hong Kong, Malaysia, South Africa and increasingly India. Australia, and to a lesser degree New Zealand, have followed a different path based on disclosure of some potential conflicts of interest. In the US, FINRA's new Suitability rule, which became effective in July 2012, covers all aspects of suitability, not just risk tolerance, though it's now, for the first time, a specific requirement. The new rule has prompted discussion about risk tolerance and risk questionnaires in the trade media, but as yet no observable change in advisory behaviour. Most medium to large advisory firms lack consistency in their risk profiling. They use multiple, usually non-scientific tests, inconsistent language of risk, inconsistent descriptions of risk, and have no evidence for linking risk test scores to portfolios. When the UK regulator reviewed the 11 tests in the market, they found misleading questions that were not fair or clear, inappropriate weightings of certain answers, and advisors not evaluating and compensating for weaknesses in the tests they used. Only 2 of the 11 tests were fit for purpose. There were no changes to our test or support materials as a consequence of the regulator's guidance. When we look at the best advisory firms around the world, we see versions of the following 5-step approach. 1. Client self-awareness. Encourage them to read the FinaMetrica report and see how they scored compared to others. If they have a partner, compare reports and identify inconsistent answers. 2. Discussion of inconsistencies with advisor of the score to be taken into account in the giving of advice. 3. Map the agreed score to a portfolio. 4. Test by way of projection, cash flow software or Monte Carlo simulation or robust discussion whether that portfolio will meet their clients' needs, consistent with their capacity for loss. 5. Share with clients the likely returns and volatilities to take negative surprises out of their future investment experience. The FinaMetrica test and support materials are a key component of a robust and defensible compliance process. Together, they assist advisors in 5 ways. 1. Prove they know the client's current circumstances, goals, risk tolerance and risk capacity. 2. Prove they explored alternatives. Ease goals, work longer, save more, convert non-investment assets. 3. Prove they know the product. If it's an investment portfolio, how will it behave in good and bad markets? 4. Prove they explained how the risks in the product could put the plan at risk. And finally, prove they received the client's properly informed consent to proceed, having taken into account the risks in the plan and the products. Best practice is a combination of experience and good regulation. The UK delivers an excellent practical example of how regulation and professional behaviour, focusing on the needs of clients, can be achieved. And of course, the best outcome of the planning process is the client's properly informed consent to the risks in the plan and their investments.